Have you ever paused, just for a moment, in the rush of your day and felt a strange disconnect, like the world is accelerating and you're not? It's a subtle unease, a whisper in the back of your mind. You see the relentless march of technology, the lightning speed of information, the ever-shifting landscape of culture, and a question starts to form. Am I keeping up, or am I being left behind? This isn't just about wrinkles or gray hair. It's a deeper feeling, a sense that time itself is playing tricks, pulling you away from the current, leaving you stranded on the banks of yesterday. You might scroll through social media and feel a pang of unfamiliarity with the trends, the language, the sheer pace of it all. Conversations with younger generations might leave you feeling like you're speaking a different language, referencing a world that's fading from collective memory. This feeling, this sense of being out of step with time, it's becoming increasingly common. We live in an era of unprecedented change, where decades of transformation are compressed into years, even months. And as we journey through life, carrying our own personal histories, it's natural to sometimes feel like the present is slipping away, leaving us tethered to the past. This feeling of being left behind isn't a personal failing. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a natural human response to living in a world that is changing faster than ever before. But understanding why we feel this way, and more importantly, how to navigate this feeling, is crucial to finding peace and purpose in our later years. To do that, we need to delve a little deeper, to explore both the science and the ancient wisdom that can illuminate this very modern feeling of being left behind by age. Let's start with the science. Why does time seem to speed up as we age? It's not just a cliché, there's a neurological basis for this common experience. Our perception of time is not a constant, it's actually a complex construction of our brains, influenced by a multitude of factors. And as we age, some of these factors undergo significant shifts. One key element is novelty. Our brains are wired to pay more attention to new experiences. When we're young, everything is relatively new. First experiences are abundant. First day of school, first bike ride, first love, first job. These novel experiences create rich, detailed memories. And it's these detailed memories that make time seem to stretch out. Think back to your childhood summers. They felt endless, didn't they? That's because so much was new, so much was being learned and absorbed. But as we age, life becomes more routine. We establish patterns. We become familiar with our surroundings, and novelty becomes less frequent. Our brains, in their efficiency, start to process familiar experiences more automatically, with less detailed encoding. Fewer new memories are laid down, and as a result, time seems to compress, to speed up. It's as if the highlight reel of our lives becomes shorter, making the overall experience feel faster. Furthermore, changes in our brain chemistry and neural pathways also contribute to this altered time perception. Studies suggest that dopamine levels, which play a crucial role in our sense of reward and motivation, decline with age. Dopamine is also linked to our perception of time. Lower dopamine levels can lead to a feeling that time is passing more quickly. Our cognitive processing speed also changes as we age. While wisdom and experience accumulate, raw processing speed can slightly decrease. This doesn't necessarily mean we become less intelligent, but it can mean that we perceive the world in slightly slower motion. And paradoxically, this slower internal clock can make the external world feel like it's moving faster in comparison. Think of it like this. If you're walking on a treadmill that's gradually speeding up, you might initially keep pace easily, but as the speed increases, you have to work harder and harder just to stay in the same spot. Eventually, it might feel like the treadmill is running away from you, even if your own pace hasn't actually changed. So, the feeling of being left behind by age is not just a subjective sensation. It's rooted in the very biology of our aging brains and our changing perception of time. But understanding this scientific basis is just the first step. To truly address this feeling, to find peace and even empowerment in the face of time's relentless flow, we need to turn to the deeper wisdom traditions that have grappled with these questions for millennia. For thousands of years, the sages and seers of ancient India have contemplated the nature of time, consciousness, and the human experience. Their insights, preserved in the Vedas and Upanishads, offer a profound counterpoint to our modern anxieties about aging and being left behind. These ancient texts don't deny the reality of change or the challenges of aging, but they offer a radically different perspective on what is truly real and what is ultimately transient. Central to this wisdom is the concept of Maya. Maya, often translated as illusion, refers to the idea that the world as we perceive it, the world of constant change, of birth and death, of time and space, is not the ultimate reality. It's a veil, a projection, a constantly shifting play of appearances. This doesn't mean the world is unreal in a trivial sense. It means that our everyday perception of reality is incomplete, limited to the surface level of things. From the perspective of Maya, time itself is a construct, a relative dimension within this illusory realm. The linear clock, time that we experience, the past, present, and future that we cling to, is not the fundamental nature of reality. Imagine watching a movie. The images flicker rapidly, creating the illusion of continuous motion. Similarly, Maya suggests that our experience of time is a kind of flickering, a rapid succession of moments that we perceive as a continuous flow. This concept can be initially unsettling, even disorienting. If time is an illusion, what does it mean for our lives, our memories, our sense of self? But within this idea of Maya lies a profound liberation. If the relentless flow of time, the feeling of being swept away by change, is ultimately an illusion, then our anxieties about being left behind lose their power. The Upanishads point towards a deeper reality, a reality beyond Maya, known as Brahman. Brahman is the ultimate, unchanging, eternal ground of existence, the source and essence of all that is. And within each of us, according to this ancient wisdom, resides the Atman, the individual soul or self, which is ultimately one with Brahman. The Atman, our true self, is not subject to time, aging, or change. It is timeless, eternal, and unchanging. It is the witness, the observer, the pure consciousness that underlies all our experiences, yet remains untouched by them. Think of the screen on which the movie of life is projected. The screen itself doesn't change, no matter what images are shown upon it. Joy, sorrow, youth, age, birth, death. The screen remains constant, unaffected. Similarly, our Atman, our true self, remains eternally present, beyond the fluctuations of time and experience. From this perspective, the feeling of being left behind by age is a misunderstanding, a misidentification with the transient aspects of our being, the body, the mind, the ego, all of which are subject to time and change, all of which are part of Maya. Our true self, the Atman, is never left behind because it is timeless. It is always present. It is always connected to the eternal flow of Brahman. This isn't just abstract philosophy. It's a radical shift in perspective that can fundamentally alter our experience of aging. When we begin to identify with our timeless Atman, rather than just our aging physical and mental selves, the fear of being left behind begins to dissolve. We realize that we are not in time. We are not subject to time. We are in our deepest essence, beyond time. Understanding these ancient concepts intellectually is one thing. Embodying them, making them a lived reality, is another. The wisdom traditions of India offer practical tools and techniques to help us shift our identification from the transient to the timeless, to reclaim our awareness of the eternal Atman within. Meditation is perhaps the most direct path to experiencing this timeless dimension of ourselves. Through meditation, we learn to quiet the restless mind, to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment or attachment, and to access a deeper state of awareness that is beyond the constant chatter of the ego. In the stillness of meditation, we can glimpse the unchanging presence that underlies all our experiences. The timeless Atman. Guided meditation. Snippet. Find a comfortable posture, gently close your eyes, or soften your gaze. Bring your awareness to your breath. Notice the rise and fall of each breath. Without judgment, simply observe. Thoughts may arise, emotions may surface. Let them come and go, like clouds passing in the sky. Rest your awareness in the stillness beneath the thoughts. In this stillness, you are timeless, you are present, you are whole. Mindfulness, extending this meditative awareness into our daily lives, is another powerful practice. Mindfulness is simply paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When we are truly present, fully engaged in what we are doing right now, we step out of the relentless flow of mental time, the past regrets, the future anxieties, and enter into the timelessness of the present moment. You might notice, as you practice mindfulness, that moments of deep presence feel different. Time seems to slow down, details become richer, and there's a sense of spaciousness, of being outside the usual rush. These are glimpses of timelessness, moments when we are no longer swept away by the current of mental time, but anchored in the eternal present. Yoga, with its emphasis on breath, movement, and embodied awareness, is another powerful tool. Through yoga postures and breathing techniques, we can become more deeply connected to our physical body, not as a decaying object, but as a temple of consciousness, a vessel for the timeless Atman. Yoga helps us to inhabit our bodies with greater awareness and acceptance, fostering a sense of peace and presence in the here and now. Once we begin to touch this timeless dimension of ourselves, our perspective on aging itself can undergo a profound transformation. Instead of seeing aging as a process of loss, of being left behind, we can begin to see it as a journey of liberation, a gradual unfolding of wisdom, presence, and deeper meaning. The feeling of being left behind often stems from a fear of irrelevance, a fear of losing our place in a rapidly changing world. But from the perspective of timelessness, relevance is not about keeping up with the latest trends or clinging to youthful ideals. True relevance is about living authentically, contributing our unique gifts to the world, and embodying the timeless qualities of wisdom, compassion, and presence, regardless of our age. As we age, we may indeed lose certain physical and mental capacities, but we also gain something invaluable: experience, perspective, and a deeper understanding of the human condition. We've weathered storms, navigated challenges, and learned countless lessons along the way. This accumulated wisdom is a gift, not just for ourselves, but for the world around us. And it's a gift that only time can bestow. Think back to the gardener in our earlier story. Initially, they felt distressed by the accelerating seasons, by the sense of being out of sync. But what if they shifted their perspective? What if they started to see the rapid changes not as a threat, but as a new kind of dance, a more dynamic rhythm to which they could adapt? What if they focused not on clinging to the past, but on cultivating wisdom and resilience in the present? Aging, from this perspective, is not about decline, but about transformation. It's about shedding the superficial concerns of youth, the relentless pursuit of external validation, the anxieties about appearance, the fear of missing out, and embracing a deeper, more authentic way of being. It's about letting go of the illusion of control and surrendering to the flow of life, trusting in the timeless presence within. And paradoxically, by letting go of the fear of being left behind, we actually become more fully present, more deeply engaged with life, and more truly relevant to the world around us. We discover that our value is not diminished by age, it is enriched by it. Our contribution is not about keeping up with the latest trends. It's about offering the timeless gifts of wisdom, compassion, and presence that the world so desperately needs. So, how do we practically embrace this journey of aging? This shift from feeling left behind to living a life of timeless presence and purpose? It's not about denying the challenges of aging. It's about meeting them with a different mindset, a different understanding of who we truly are. Firstly, embrace the present moment. Cultivate mindfulness in your daily life. Take time each day for quiet reflection, for meditation, for simply being present with your breath, with your senses, with the world around you. The more you anchor yourself in the present, the less you will be swept away by the anxieties of the past or the fears of the future. Secondly, connect deeply with others. Relationships are vital at every stage of life, but perhaps even more so as we age. Nurture your existing connections and be open to forming new ones. Share your stories, listen to others, offer your wisdom and support. Meaningful connection is a powerful antidote to the feeling of isolation and irrelevance that can accompany the sense of being left behind. Thirdly, contribute your unique gifts to the world. Your life experience, your skills, your passions. These are all valuable resources. Find ways to share them, to contribute to your community, to make a difference in the lives of others. Purpose is not something that fades with age. It evolves. And finding new avenues for purpose, for contribution, is essential for a fulfilling later life. Aging is not the closing of a book, as we said in the beginning video. It's simply the turning of a page. And the next chapter, it's yours to write. You may not be able to control the relentless tick of time, but you can control how you respond to it. You can choose to resist, to cling to the past, to fear being left behind. Or you can choose to embrace, to surrender to the flow, to discover the timeless presence within, and to write a new chapter filled with wisdom, purpose, and profound peace. The feeling of being left behind by age is a common human experience, especially in our rapidly changing world, but it's not an inevitable fate. By understanding the science of time perception, by tapping into the ancient wisdom of timelessness, and by consciously choosing to embrace the journey of aging with presence, connection, and purpose, you can transform this feeling of being left behind into a profound sense of liberation. So, take a moment now. Reflect on these ideas. What resonates with you? What steps can you take today to begin reclaiming your timeless self? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's walk this journey of wisdom together. And if this message has resonated with you, please like this video. Subscribe to our channel for more insights on living a life of deeper meaning and consciousness, and share this message with someone who might need to hear it today.